Hello, my sweet little candies. I'm Moore, and today we're turning ponies into people. So, you're doing the main six from G4, right? Nope. Lots of people have turned those ponies into people to the point where it wouldn't be very fun for me to give it a shot, in part because the main six seem to have rather settled aesthetics, though of course they can be fudged a bit and other people may see them differently than I do. But I think everyone else has done a good job translating those onto human bodies, so if turning the main six into humans or doing Equestria Girls redesigns was a conversation, I feel like I'm content to say that I have nothing to say. I'm not entirely opposed to turning G4 ponies into humans, since I've seen a little bit of every gen of My Little Pony except for G2. I feel like it's definitely the strongest of all of them. Like, there's a lot of good things in it and lots of fun characters. But I decided that I wanted to turn G3 ponies into humans because it has a special little place in my heart, as in it's nostalgic. And I usually don't see this gen get turned into humans, so let's get designing! I feel like I should mention really quick that these designs aren't meant to be the G3 ponies as Equestria girls, they're just G3 ponies as humans, which I know sounds similar, but it's different, okay? Okay. So when I was choosing which ponies to redesign, I avoided the core 7 mainly because lots of the characters there were main characters in G4, and even though their personalities are different, I still felt like I'd run into the issues I described in the intro. Also, despite them being main characters, I feel like I didn't know most of them that well, so I wanted to pick characters that weren't really in G4, but I also felt like I knew the characters enough to turn them into humans. The first I chose being Wisteria, who I mostly remember being the main character of The Princess Promenade. She's a sweet and quiet pony that really likes flowers, so I knew I wanted to incorporate gardening into her design. I also wanted her outfit to be loosely based on Japanese fashion, because her name makes me think of Demon Slayer, because in Demon Slayer they use wisteria flowers in various ways to deal with demons. Man, wisteria trees are so pretty, I wish they were real. So with Demon Slayer on the brain, I was specifically thinking of giving Wisteria Japanese fashion from the Taisho era, which occurred between 1912 and 1926, and lots of Western things were entering Japanese society, so the fashion was naturally a bit of mix of Western and Japanese fashion. Taisho fashion also makes me think a lot about the Taisho romance card set from Love Live. I freaking love this set. So for her outfit, I wanted gardening and Taisho fashion. I knew I wanted her to have shorts based on those pleated pants. I believe they're called hakama. I also gave her leggings underneath so that her knees don't get all scratched up while she's gardening, though they'll probably get very dirty. I gave her a belt that's a mix of an obi and a gardening tool belt so that she's always ready for some impromptu gardening. It has a cute little knot on it and some wisteria flowers, probably made of silk, hanging from it to reference her cutie mark. I thought of at first giving her a kimono top with the sleeves tied back so that she could do her gardening easily, but I wasn't really vibing with it, so I tried giving her a more western style frilly shirt. I like the vibe of this better, but I still wanted to have more of that Japanese influence, so I tried to combine them and ended up with the current design. I think it's pretty cute. I wanted her to have shoes that would be good for gardening, so I simply googled gardening shoes and gave her what I found. A lot of them had flower patterns on them, which makes me think that the target audience for these is grandmas, or just, people that like flowers. But look me in the eye and tell me that a stereotypical grandma would not enjoy these, Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, in the coloring stage, I added a simple wisteria pattern onto her shoes, which I also used on her shorts. Tipping up to the head and face, the G3 ponies all had the same hair and eye style, though the Core 7 did get different hairstyles in Gen 3.5. So basically, there was a lot of room for creativity, but what I did with her hair was just because I felt it was cute and fit her well, giving her some bangs that don't fully cover her forehead, along with some curly pigtails covered with a bandana to keep her hair clean. I made her eyes bright yet droopy to give them a sweet look, and I thought it would be fun to give her flower-shaped pupils. I made her eyebrows a bit on the thicker side because there's just something so charming to me about sweet, girly characters with big eyebrows. It's just cute all around. I'm the kind of person that isn't entirely bothered by the unnatural skin colors they use in Equestria girls, so I thought of making the skin the same as the pony at first, but G3 seems to be more saturated rather than pastel like G4, so unnatural skin colors didn't look that good. I just ended up coloring picking the coat color from the pony, then hue shifting it into a natural skin tone. I didn't adjust the values, but I did make them a bit more saturated because I didn't want them to look ashy. I did take the hair colors from the original pony though and use those throughout the design. Wisteria originally has aqua eyes, but they felt really out of place with the color palette I was using, so I tried making them either brown or green, and I settled on a matcha light green, which I also spread throughout her design. I think it complements the purples really well. I also used some neutral colors, mainly white, to keep things looking elegant and less busy. And I think that's it for Wisteria. Isn't she cute? So I did Wisteria in part because she was a main character from one of the DVDs. Then the third character, who I'm saving for last, is also a main character of one of the DVDs. So then who would be the other pony? When I was doing research, and by that I mean watching said DVDs, one character that stood out to me was Sunny Daze. She just seems really cool and fun, you know? I feel like I felt similarly about her as a child, so yeah, we're doing Sunny. A couple things to note about Sunny is that she really likes things that are bright, shiny, and reflective, like the sun. She's just really cool, chill, and laid back, and she enjoys doing cartwheels and somersaults and whatnot. Keeping those in mind, I knew I wanted to give her some sun-like shapes in her design. Starting with her hair, I used spiky, flaring out shapes to mimic the sun, especially with her ponytail thing. I wasn't sure if I should give her a more sharp, cool looking eye shape or big round ones with little eyelashes all around them to make them look like the sun. I think she'd have the latter shape, but just often has them in a half closed, relaxed position. Like she's obviously a sweet and energetic girl, but she's also got that cool older sister type character going on. In the original show, Sunny would sometimes wear sunglasses, but I don't find them very cute, so I gave my Sunny sunglasses with a hopefully more stylish design with a little sun decal on one side and little lines on the other side to mimic sun rays. I imagined she'd wear clothes that a girl that enjoys living in a sunny area would wear, so I gave her a tank top with a color shaped like a cartoon sun. I tried making it match the cartoon sun on her cutie mark, but it kind of made her look like Kermit the Frog, so I made it more roundy. The body of the tank top has lines going from out the collar to mimic sun rays, just like her sunglasses. And I also put some clouds on it, just like her cutie mark has clouds. Since G3 is from the early 2000s, I gave her low-rise ripped skinny jeans to reference fashion from that time period. Her shoes are just some simple flip-flops, nothing fancy. Since Sunny likes shiny and reflective stuff, I gave her lots of metallic jewelry, like a studded belt with a chain of dangly metal things and some metal bracelets. I also wanted her to have some bracelets from the 2000s, so I just googled some bracelets from that time and I was like, yeah, I vaguely remember those, and gave her some of the things I saw. Since Sunny Daze also likes to do things like cartwheels and somersaults, I thought it'd be cool to make her a gymnast, though the only evidence of that in this design is the fact that she has a bag to carry the stuff that she needs for gymnastic practice. I made the bag look like the sun and her cutie mark because I thought it was a really cute idea and also more firmly brings her cutie mark into her design, especially when she holds it because then it would hang at her hip. Color-wise, again, I picked lots of colors from the original Ponies design, keeping her hair and eye colors the same, but shifting the coat color into a natural skin color, which makes her quite pale despite being a girl that loves to be out in the sun, so I made her a bit sunburned. Her shirt is white like her coat, but the collar is a sunny yellow, and I used pastel versions of other colors in her color palette for the clouds, which was especially important for the blue in the clouds since the only other blue in the design was on her pants, and I didn't want them to feel too singled out that they'd end up dragging the eye downward when you look at her. The colors of her bag obviously were made to match her cutie mark, and her flip-flops were colored to match the bag. Her jewelry is both gold and silver because to me silver feels more reflective, but Sunny definitely feels more like a gold girl, you know? The rest of her jewelry uses colors from the rest of the color palette. And that's Sunny Daze. I wonder if I might have made her look too mature looking here when maybe she should look more fun loving. I don't know. Also, I realized that her stretching form is not properly drawn. but I already drew it. I recognize my mistake. We'll live. I mentioned earlier that 2 of the characters I'm designing are main characters from some of the DVDs, so last but not least, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the queen of a very minty Christmas herself, Minty. I wanted to do Minty for a myriad of reasons, partially because she's popular, which is understandable. She's one of my favorites too. And like, have you seen my channel? It's covered in peppermint candy. Of course I had to do Minty. Though I feel I should add that the peppermint theme of my channel was not inspired by her. I just like candy. Minty loves the color green, being silly, and socks. She had an entire musical number about how much she loves socks, so I knew I wanted to incorporate lots of those into her design. Socks also make me think of being warm and cozy, so I wanted her to look like she's very cozy. I gave her a cute little cable knit sweater with socks that are swirled and sewn onto it to mimic swirly peppermint candy. It's not super obvious that they're socks, but they're socks, trust me. I pushed her sleeves up a bit so that the fingerless gloves she has made of old socks stand out a bit more. I gave her a pleated skirt with thick stitches to give it a handmade look, and underneath her skirt, she's got some thick leggings. And then 4 mismatching socks for not only ultimate coziness, but also so she can show off as many socks as once as she can, though I'm sure I've hardly scratched the surface of how many socks she can actually show off. Her shoes are just some simple loafers because I thought they'd be cute on her. I also gave her a beret with a bow made of socks because I thought it'd be cute. If you can't tell just from this video alone, a lot of my design choices are just based on me drawing what I think is cute on the character. I mean, sometimes I add things that make the character look cool or pretty, but a lot of the time it definitely is just to make them look cute. Lastly, for her outfit, I gave her a little bag at her waist to carry sewing supplies or other various things she might need or want. Or maybe if she finds a cool thing on the ground, she could carry it in there. I know sewing isn't necessarily a canon trait that Minty has, but I was putting lots of handmade sock crafts into her outfit that it just felt right to me. The bag also has a bow made out of socks, just like her beret. For her face, I gave her bright eyes that are as clueless as they are clever, and I gave her straight hair, with part of it being pulled into a little braid. For colors, once again, I just stole them right off the pony. I kept her hair the same, but I wasn't vibing with her purple eyes, so I changed them to be the same color as her coat and her illustration. For most of the colors on all of the ponies, I took them from the cartoon versions of them, so I did the same at first with her skin, shifting it into a natural tone, but I wasn't sure if the slightly darker skin suited her, so I did another one with the skin tone derived from the coat color on the illustration. I also wasn't sure if the lighter skin suited her, so basically she is very cute in both skin colors, but I'm not sure which one suits her best, so which one do you like? I was going to make her sweater white at first, but I was like, no, all 3 ponies can't have white shirts. And her pink hair was very powerful and obviously wasn't screaming minty. So I made her sweater mint green and her skirt a warm white because I was going to make the skirt green, so we did a little switcheroo. I used the colors on her cutie mark for the sock swirls on her sweater, and then used those colors in the mint and pink to fill out the rest of the design, along with some browns for balance, similar to how I used white and a little bit of black on Wisteria. If you find that your character's colors are looking too busy, try choosing 1 or 2 main colors, then use neutrals like brown, white, gray, or black to make things look more uniform and pleasing to the eye. It's not a one-size-fits-all type formula, but it usually does a pretty good job. So yeah, here's Minty. As much as I think she turned out cute, I can't help but worry about whether I did her justice or not. There's also the matter of that these are just one way to turn these ponies into people, and there's naturally hundreds of thousands of ways it can be done. But I do hope you like what I did with them. I'm not entirely opposed to doing more G3 ponies as humans, or even doing other gens, like maybe some ponies from G4 that don't get the Gajinka treatment as much as other ponies. G1 also has quite a bit of charm. It's so cottagecore cutesy. So what I'm trying to say is, if you would like me to draw more pony people, just let me know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.